Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We come together on this Shabbat of Trumah, of thinking about how we can bring our gifts of holiness to build a mikdash, to build a holy place. And we're in this beautiful main sanctuary as our other sanctuary and our back there, the courtyard is under construction. Have you seen how it's coming along? It's pretty amazing. They've stopped digging down and now they're laying the foundations. And if you look and see the raised part, that's part of the first floor. The lower part's the basement. And it's amazing to think about that mikdash and the idea. Ta'asuli, it says. You can, and it's a plural. It's the whole community coming together to build up Jewish life at this time. And so we need to build up Jewish life here and be part of Jewish life nationally and internationally. And we're so grateful to have a speaker tonight talking about Israel itself and her experience as a Jewish leader, and to have a leader here as well who works to help Ethiopian Jewry, because we're all one, we're all connected. So, Bruchim Haba'im, Shabbat Shalom. For those who are just viewing the first time, I'm Rabbi Jonathan Singer. I'm so honored to lead this service with, who are you?
I'm Rabbi Leo Fuchs.
And?
Cantor Luck.
And? And?
Eric Schoen.
And? And?
Dan Bayer.
And all of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's welcome in the Shabbat with lights. I'm grateful to have the Rothenbergs come forward. They're in place of our B'nai Mitzvah this holiday weekend Shabbat to kindle our Shabbat lights. We're on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner El
Shabbat Shalom. Please turn and greet somebody you didn't come in with and say Shabbat Shalom. Turn around or in front and say hello to a different person. Page 20.
Will you prepare to greet the Sabbath bride on page 20 with Lecha Dodi?
Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. Earlier today, a congregant mentioned to me that they'd been in the hospital for 21 hours with another congregant who had to go to the emergency room, and they kept them company and held their hand. And earlier this week, there was a person studying for conversion who shared that she'd been in a grocery store line, and the cashier had made a apparent mistake, or something had happened. She wasn't sure what, and the person at the front of the line was yelling at the cashier. And she admitted she felt a little annoyed and wanted to get to the front of the line and go. But the person in front of her reached out to the cashier and comforted them and let them know that they hadn't done anything wrong and that they didn't deserve what had happened. And the person I was talking to said, she made me realize I wanted to be like her. And I bet that everybody else who saw that wanted to be like her. Rabbi Sharon Brous, in her book, The Amen Effect, says that each of us have moments when we have the opportunity to be an angel for others. As we sing Shalom Aleichem and welcome the angels, Malachei Hasharet, the angels of service, Malachei Hashalom, the angels of peace, maybe we can think not just about welcoming some other entity, but breathing out all that has gotten in our way this past week and making space so that we will be ready when we have the opportunity to be an angel for someone else. Shalom Aleichem is on page 24.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
On page 31, this prayer for the night, seeing the holy at night and in the day, lighting the lights of the sanctuary we were commanded to do, to reflect that light out there and that light in here. Join with me at the top of page 31 in the English. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows.
ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים. Take a look at the back of your program. An everlasting love, I have loved you, for this I have drawn you with my love, everlasting, an everlasting love, I have loved you. For this I have drawn you with my love. The mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. The mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. Mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. Mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. The mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. The mountains may crumble and the hills may fade away, but my love for you will not end. Everlasting love.
We get ready for Shema. Maybe it was a long week for you. Maybe you need to hear this call to open yourself up again, to hear the presence and feel that presence of the Holy, to start to renew yourself, that you're part of that one, and that one is all around you, close to everyone, just waiting for us to be open. So take a deep breath, everyone. Get ready and close our eyes.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We remember that we are loved by an everlasting love. Gives us the strength to Shema, to listen deeply, and then we're reminded via Havta. It's our job to put love back in the world. Via Havta is on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen.
Every service we sing Micha Mocha on page 40. And we celebrate miraculous, we celebrate freedom. We wonder, we celebrate being able to see things we never thought we'd see. I want you to think about our speaker tonight. I mean, I'll introduce her a little bit here now. But Silgal Kanatopsky is the Northeast Regional Director for the Jewish Agency in Israel and here in the United States. She's a leader of our people. She has a BA from Hebrew University in International Relations, an MA in Dispute Resolution and Management from Tel Aviv University, something we all need. But she came to Israel when she was 5 from Ethiopia. Think about that. Think about that, being able to see in our lifetimes that transformation and the Jewish people reuniting, and now have you here as a leader for all of us. Micha Mocha Be'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh. Let's sing.
Hey, la 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 la. קברי יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We turn our attention now to those who are in need of healing. We think in particular of the following congregants: Rusty Holden, Patrick Powell, Peter Logan, Erica Boutiette, Michael Pappas, Daryl Jan, Jim Sansone, Jennifer Kern, Charlie Kopp, Gay Cucurelli, Estela Vasquez, Burton Jackson, Alan Axe. If there is someone that you're thinking of that we as a community can pray for together, please share their name as my tallis passes by. Victoria Fuchs, and our minds are also with all of those who are in spirit with our hostages and all of those who are still awaiting freedom in Gaza. El Na Rafana La is on page 373. Our service reaches to the next level of its intensity as we rise together for the Amidah. The Amidah begins on page 46.
Adonai sifetai tiftach u'fi yagid hiladecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
This week's Parsha, Exodus chapter 25, verse 8. We read, Va'asuli mikdash shachanti betocham. Build for me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among you.
Va'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham v'anachnu nevarech yah me'ata ve'ad olam. Va'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. Lord, prepare me be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be your living sanctuary for you.
Shkoch. I want to invite Sigal to come join us on the Bima. We're so glad to welcome you and have you teach us tonight and to share about the work you're doing and about Eretz Israel right now during this time of challenge. It's such an honor to have you here. This evening works because we have a group that runs an Israel Action Committee. And our fearless leader is Jordan Heimowitz. Jordan, will you wave to everybody from there? We thank you for all your work. And Jordan has brought Simcha Schwartz from the SSEJ as well. Simcha, can you wave? And he does really essential work in terms of trying to help with Jewish Aliyah from Ethiopia. So those of us who are having dinner afterwards have a chance to hear from both of them. But for now, we welcome you, Sigal, to Congregation Emanu-El.
תודה רבה. Wow. Thank you, Rabbi Singer, the entire Emanu-El community. I knew that I will be excited, but now I'm super, super excited after this beautiful service. Really, I'm moved. Thank you for having me this evening. So Rabbi Singer and the entire Emanu-El community, thank you for having me this evening. As I said, I'm super excited. And Jordan Heimowitz, that I just figured out that we are from my current hometown, Philadelphia, and we are both, there's a few more here I see, besides both of us being a big fan of Am Israel, we're also a big fan of the Eagles, so which is, and actually I feel very a very strong sense of belonging to this community as well, because of three other amazing women that from this community that traveled with me to Ethiopia last May. Paula Pertlo, that she my really life kohenet, which I know almost 10 years, Lily Cantor, and Joy Siski from the Jewish Federation of San Francisco. We all together traveled last May in Ethiopia to see, and hear and learn about the Ethiopian Jewish community in Ethiopia. And we also had this privilege to bring with us more than 200 Olim, immigrants from Ethiopia on the same flight. And at this visit in Ethiopia last May, we also had this opportunity to, to witness and to the work that, the amazing work that been done on the ground by many, many organizations. And one of the organizations is SSJ, with Simcha, the representative is here, and the Jewish Agency working closely with the with SSJ on the ground and other organizations. So it was very exciting for both of us to witness that. This week Parsha, as the rabbi mentioned, Truma, tells us how Israel people were commanded to build the Mishkan during their journey toward the Promised Land. The Mishkan is not the temple, it's not the Beit HaMikdash yet, right? And the desert is not the destination. The destination is the land of Israel, Jerusalem. So why do they need the Mishkan? Why they were commanded to build the Mishkan? Because the Mishkan is sort of Jerusalem at heart, Yerushalayim Shebalev. The Mishkan serves as a reminder reminder for all of us the ultimate goal that we strive to achieve. The Mishkan is also remind us of why we embark to a journey, to any journey, despite all the challenges that we might face on the way. But the Mishkan is also stands before us as a symbol of hope and resilience, fueling our determination to pass on toward a destiny, any destiny. And talking about destiny and journey, let me to share with you my story, which is my story, which I consider a typical Jewish story. It's a story of resilience and hope, and it's also as a story of yearning and longing to Jerusalem, to Zion. The Ethiopian Jewish community got to Ethiopia at the First Temple time period. Stayed in Ethiopia, were disconnected with the entire world Jewry, knowing that we are the only Jews on earth, and that one day we'll be back home to Jerusalem. We practice biblical Judaism, and as I said, knowing that we keep preserving our identity, our Jewish values, and the Judaism, and one day we'll be back home to Jerusalem. Jerusalem was the center of our life in Ethiopia. Every and each aspect and act and step in our life in Ethiopia was about Jerusalem. Every Friday and every Shabbat, when my parents got back from the shul, we, the kids, ran before them, sat on the ground, waiting to hear this story about this heaven on earth Jerusalem. When every time that my siblings and myself, we play outside, and we saw the storks migrating north, we ran after them with a huge excitement, and we called, Shimela, Shimela, Agerachin Jerusalem Dena, meaning stork, stork, carry word of peace to our holy land in Jerusalem. And every year, the Ethiopian Jewish community celebrated the 6th holiday, 50 days after Yom Kippur, which kind of a sort of communal Yom Kippur, second Yom Kippur, but now it's about the community that joined the efforts and praying to God that we listen to our prayer to bring us back home to Jerusalem. And at the end of the day, we climb to the top of the mountain, pray all day long, and at the end of the day, we wish each other that the next time that we'll see each other, meet each other, will be in Jerusalem. The state of mind of Ethiopian Jewish community and my parents wasn't Leshana Ba'a B'Yerushalayim, meaning next year in Jerusalem, but rather today, now, every moment, we might go to Jerusalem. So when we understand that this was the state of mind and the way of life of Ethiopian Jewish community, I understood why my parents, when they heard that there is a way to Jerusalem, it was in the early 18s, and it just was a rumor. They said, leave your villages in Ethiopia, pass the border, come to Sudan, and from Sudan you might have way. For my parents, it was enough. It was enough. You know, they left everything that they had, literally everything, the land, the assets, the language, the safe zone that they had, and they started this crazy journey from from Ethiopia to Sudan and then to Israel. From the last village in Ethiopia to Sudan, it took us 5.5 weeks. We walked during the night and rest during the day. And after 5.5 weeks, we got to Sudan border. There we met the Israeli agents that operated the operation. It was a secret operation at that time. And other Jewish families that came there waiting to fulfill 2,500 years dream. In Sudan, which was kind of a death trap because many Jews that survived the journey lost their lives there in this hard condition of a refugee in Sudan. We waited there 6 months. And one night, it was Shabbat Chanukah. During Shabbat dinner, we were having our, now, we were having, with the little that we had, our Shabbat dinner. My mother held my baby sister on her back, served us the dinner. We were surrounding the table. And in the middle of the table was the dabo, the Ethiopian challah. And we had very basic, Shabbat discussion. And then, all of a sudden, someone opened up our door in a very brutal way and asked us, Allah chuhun in Amharic, meaning, are you still here? We looked at each other, we looked at my father, and then we realized that there was a flight that night, and we were the last family, the only family that left behind. The entire Jewish communities and the families were on their way to the airplane place where the airplane landed, and we just left everything as it is. The luggage that we brought with us from Ethiopia, the hot food on the table. At the last minute, my mom grabbed the dabo, the challah, and we just followed this guy. And after a while, I don't know the estimate how long it took us, we got to kind of a forest. Then we waited there another a few minutes, and then the big bird, what in my eyes at that time looked like a big bird, but it was the airplane landed, and we were within 12 minutes, that's it. That's what it took. More than 300 people that were into the airplane, and we got off, and after 4.5 hours, we were above Jerusalem. We dreamed 2,500 years to be at, and the airplane landed, and all of us got off of the plane and kissed this, the earth that we, as I said, dreamed to be at, which was, in a way, was the end of one journey, but the beginning of another journey in Israel. Fast forward 32 years, it was the first time for me to understand, for the first time, the essence of my parents' story and the essence of this journey, 2,500 years journey. It was in 2016 when my daughter Shachar celebrated her bat mitzvah. And for this special occasion, since my husband is from Polish background and myself, we wanted her to feel, to experience this beautiful combination of kibbutz galuyot in Israel today. So we built her a year plan that every month we did something. And the highlight of this plan was to take her to a roots trip to Ethiopia. So we visited a mother and daughter trip to Ethiopia. And the first week, we visited the last 3 villages that my parents left, passed in their journey. And the first village was Mereva, the village where I was born. Beautiful village, located in a valley, surrounded by volcanic mountains. Beautiful view, really. And we drove there 4.5 hours. That's what it took us from the closest township to Mereva. And the minute that we got to the entrance of the village, we were surrounded by dozens of villagers that come up to see who are those crazy people that came to this remote village. No one, it's like northwest Ethiopia, into the mountains. No one came there before. But I stood there. First, I was amazed by the village and the people that welcomed us so warmly, but so many questions. that come up to my mind. I stood there. Shacha, my daughter, was next to me on my right side. I looked this beautiful, view, the river that my old childhood based on, it was in front of us. And the right side, what used to be my parents' neighborhood. First, I asked myself, why? Why my parents left this beautiful way of life and started this, crazy journey, endangering my life, my siblings' life, their own life. And second, I tried to, I looked left and right and tried to guess how they knew which way would lead them to Jerusalem. There's no any sign or something that say the way to Jerusalem, right? I mean, it was, again, as I said, valley located by surrounded by volcanic mountains, forest all around. And third, I even asked myself, what for? What for? Why to risk your life in this way? All these questions keep in my mind, staying in my mind. And 2 weeks after we were back to Israel, Shachar and myself, I know, although this is the journey issue at our home is taboo, we are not talking about the journey 40 years, I felt that I need to ask my mom these questions. So during Shabbat morning, 2 weeks after we were back, we were at my mom's home, and I decided to open up these questions. And I asked her, Mom, listen, we've been there. Beautiful place, amazing people. And you waited there 2,500 years. You could stay there a few more years, right? Until to be safe here. Why to endanger my life, my sibling life, and your own life? And my parents, we lost one of my brother on the way. We just buried him on the way and keep going toward Jerusalem. And with the Israeli chutzpah, I even told her, you see, and you lost one of your sons. And she looked at me and she said, what do you think? What for we lived in Ethiopia? To be more rich, to be more satisfied with our economical life, to travel around the world. What for we lived in Ethiopia? We had only one dream, one vision, one destiny. And it was Jerusalem. So when we heard that there is a way to Jerusalem, for us it wasn't a question of if. It was a question of how we are going to fulfill even the tiny, small chance that we have. And she told me, you see, my parents dreamed this dream. My grandparents, my great-grandparents for generations. And no one had this opportunity, this chance, this privilege, to try to fulfill this dream. And we had. So we are that not to miss this opportunity. For me, it was the first time in my life. I was almost 40 years old, 4 kids, consider myself very involved and, a social activist in the Israeli society, doing many things. But it was the first time in my life to understand my parents' story. And it was the first time in my life to understand the Ethiopian Jewish community narrative. Because until that time, I felt like if my mother doesn't speak the Hebrew, if my mother doesn't involve in she's not involved in the Western way of life, so for sure she doesn't have nothing to contribute to me. I need to look for other leaders to be like and to learn from. But by this simple but so deep answer of my mom, I understood that my ambitions, my motivation to do tikkun olam in my narrow world all my life was started in Meribah. It started, in the journey from Ethiopia to Sudan and then to Israel. And I absorbed that in my mom's home. I say mom because my father died a year and a half after we were out to Israel. And a week before October 7th, I was interviewed to a series about Israel, as Israel society. And the interviewer asked me, why your parents made Aliyah? And first I didn't understand why he asking me so obvious question, right? But I think that the answer become much clearer and brighter after October 7th. For me and for my mom, my parents, and the entire Ethiopian and other Jews, Israel is the home. For me, Israel is the only home where I feel, that I can practice my Judaism, my identity. I can be, whomever I am. As a Jew, I can, celebrate my identity as a Jew, as an Israeli, as an Ethiopian, as a woman, as a black woman in Israel, freely and proudly. Israel is a place, actually, is one of the Israel society, I would say, and the Jewish community in general, I would say, is one of the most diverse community and society, culturally, racially, in so many aspects. Yes, Israel is not a perfect country, never has been, and we have so much challenges that we are still working to fix and to do better in Israel. But at the same time, I would say that we have so many achievements, and so much to, that we can and we should be proud of. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Wow. Micha mocha be'elim Adonai.
And
It is an honor and a blessing to have you here, to hear your story, your journey, and to hear your ongoing journey, to help the Jewish people, to help Israel during this time, and to see and appreciate your courage. Thank you for sharing that with us. Can we say Yashar Koach? Wow. We come to the concluding prayers of our service. You can find the Emanu on page 586, which dreams of a greater time of unity. We all rise for Emanu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, התקנו לארצה בראשית, שלא עשנו גגי הרצון, ולא שמנו עם משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We can be seated. As we get ready to read names of Kaddish for comforting the mourners and honoring the memory of those who came before. If you're here to say Kaddish for someone or think of someone in your heart, think about their sacrifice, their courage, their journey that enabled you to be who you are. Our hearts go out to those who mourn the recent loss. They're in the midst of Shloshim. Rita Robert, Thomas Kreisman, Lee Batat, Diane Bierman, Judith Lowenthal, Patsy Greenstein, Linda Gordon Higgins. May their families be comforted. And then at the yard site, the anniversary of the passing of these loved ones, may their memory be for a blessing. Grace Lappin Abramson, Susan Rosetta Adams, Bessie Alperton, Andy Eric, Sophie Bach, Jean Lisker Bellman, Ernest Benesh, Bess Berkeley, Joseph Blumenthal, Ariella Braverman, Linda Davies, Daniel Gallos Fuchs, Robert J. Gans, Joseph Gershoni, Francis Glazer, Tanette Goldberg, Rhoda Haas Goldman, Rob Guymont, Janet Haas, Deborah Haas Eisenberg, Carl Hagens, Rose Harlow, Jean G. Hartman, Russell Scott Heyman, Harry Holtz, Sandy Heimowitz, Murray Ember, Beatrice Kirschenbaum, Edith Lewin, Edward Linder, David Alexander Lokshin, Noreen Hoffman Lupol, Henry Melton Fort, Daniel Madarasso, Barnett Nathan, Ruby Nissen, Adrian G. O'Toole, Edward T. O'Toole, Ramsey Oppenheim, Jerry Ornstein, Yoav Pantalot, C. William Paul, Fred Perlstein, Elizabeth Caspers Peters, Colin Portnoff, Lillian Rosen, Robert S. Rosenzweig, Warren Roth, Margaret Russell, Natalie Saltiel, Diana Schlosser, Judith Schneider, Max Semmel, Seymour Sinoff, Barbara H. Smith, Emmanuel Spinrad, Alan L. Stein, Ann Teitelbaum, Frida Teitelbaum, Andrew Tillen, Paul Vapnik, Ruthie Wander, Allison Wells, Bobby B. Wilczek, Nettie Hester Wolf, Shirley Friedman Zakin, and Arnie Zahler. If you're here to say Kaddish for someone whose name wasn't mentioned, or if you want to put their name into the chat online, as I point my talit towards you, please call out their name. Lexi Navalny. We think of those mourning in Israel as well, as we turn to page 294 and we rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, chayachon v'yachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agat v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach olam u'mei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran ve'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Osei shalom ben romav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen.
V'yimru, 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 amen. V'yimru, 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 amen. We conclude our service on page 322 with the singing of Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kelalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michamoshienu, Non El Eloheinu, Non El Adonenu, Non El Malkeinu, Non El Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
We don't have a a bar mitzvah this week, so the Lehman family have agreed to come up and hold the Kiddush Cup for us and be our stand in B'nai Mitzvah, because they're great Minyan supporters. And while they're coming up, I want to remind you about a couple of things coming up. One, next week, I know we have a lot going on. We're doing a large amount of Israel programming during this February. I want to thank Alexa here for the work that she's doing. Alexa, you raised everyone. She's heads our engagement department. And next week we have Ruchama Weiss. She is a scholar in residence from Israel. She's coming from the Hebrew University there, Hebrew College. And she is this combination of dynamic poet, Talmudist, feminist, firebrand. And she's going to be our teacher Friday night and Saturday morning. There's a dinner afterwards. This time you have to pay for it, but do register. And I just hope you'll come and be there. You were studied with her. Was she amazing?
Amazing. Wonderful. It's worth your time. You will not be disappointed.
And then secondly, something came up quickly, and we'll be getting word out to you soon. And that is on March 3rd, a group of Jews from Silicon Valley have really seen the need and to bring us all together for a march or rally against anti-Semitism. Do you feel that need? We do. So it's going to start out at the Ferry Building on March 3rd, I think, and end up at City Hall. And we need people to come out. It's not about the conflict and saying ceasefire or no ceasefire or anything like that. It is about standing up against hate in America and saying this is not the American way. And we Jews are going to follow the example of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav. To understand life is a narrow bridge, but we will not be cowed. We are not afraid. And we're going to speak out. So I hope you'll join me and join that group as a united Jewish community, marching together and making that statement here in San Francisco. Let's join together for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kijana b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, hava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו ובחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
L'chaim, Karen.
Chaim.
One more thing before Leo introduces Motzi. I do want to thank Joyce Sisitsky from the Federation, who helped bring the speaker today, and her work that the Federation's doing for Israel, for Ethiopia, for world Jewry, and for all of us. She couldn't be here because of family simcha, but I do want to thank her.
It's time for Motzi. Don't forget to bring your prayer books back. Maybe Mark, you would lift up the challah. And maybe Sydney and Ashley, would you join them and holding up the challah for everybody? And we'll all join together in the Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Ay, ay.